Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at Hyperlight Drifter. This is a 2016 Kickstarter game, originally at least. It's supposed to be a mix between Diablo, which I assume they mean Diablo 1, and The Legend of Zelda um, Link to the Past, which would be the Game Boy game. It does seem like it is going to have some kind of pixely graphics, which very often you see pixely graphics as an excuse for a bad game, but I don't think we're going to quite have that problem here. Let's see. As far as settings, there's really not a lot going on here. Like, you could turn down the frames per second, you could turn off the VSync. The dash type apparently is not applicable, so maybe at some point we'll get different dash types, or maybe that unlocks after the first time you beat the game. Controls wise, let's see, we have a left trigger and a right trigger for aiming and shooting. Left to aim, right to shoot. Left bump heals, right bump specials, left stick moves, back for inventory, pause for menu. You can sit down with the D-pad down. You interact with Y, you attack with a sword, you dash with A, and then you swap weapons with B. Okay, and apparently this game does have a keyboard co-op gameplay method. Seeing the visuals here with the like pixely kind of text, this feels a lot like a game I covered a couple years ago where it was a one-hit boss rush game. So you could not take a single hit or you would die, and the bosses could only mostly died after one hit, and you were shooting arrows to hit the boss, and usually they had some kind of shield type mechanic where you couldn't just immediately hit them in their weak spots. And what the similarity there is, in that game there was this whole fake language they made up that if you played the game and beat it really nicely, and did the most difficult things, it would eventually allow you to decode the gibberish font into a English font where you could actually read what was being said in the game. Um, I forget the name of that game though. It was fun for an hour or two, to get to the beginning and end and do one run through it. But I certainly didn't want to spend any more time with it after that. And inherently, that is the danger of any game that could be particularly difficult, is that you might find yourself not willing to go that extra mile and play it for a new game plus or a new game alt, which we can see those are locked in this case. A more forgiving challenge, certain achievements are disabled. Standard intended challenge level, all achievements unlockable. That I like how they label this. So often you have games that like have achievements for beating the game on expert, but you can't even play expert or hardcore mode until you've beaten it on standard once. And even in 2016, that was not acceptable. Nobody has time to play a game two or three times. Some people may choose to play some games two or three times, but they're not guaranteeing that commitment for every game. Whereas in the old days, you might only get three games for. In 1985, if you got an NES on Christmas, you probably got like 3 or 4 games for that NES, and that was going to last you that whole year. So yeah, you probably would play Super Mario Brothers over and over and over again. Uh, but nowadays, with Steam accounts and people potentially having hundreds, if not thousands, of games very cheaply on Steam, there's just a lot more competition. And that is not even covering the competition between other forms of entertainment: music, movies, books, TV. All of those also are taking up people's attention, whereas there was just less entertainment otherwise that existed. So I guess we do standard. let's see. We'll go ahead and put a name in, although I don't know why they even bothered to have you type in a name in games. Either pull it from my Steam profile or don't ask. I do vaguely recall this game looking a little brutal in its controls, so we may find that to be the case. With a name like Hyper Light Drifter, drifting is not something I'm great at, and moving at a hyper speed is something I'm okay at, but not perfect at. So it seems like we've got some kind of energy glowing. And then maybe some statues of humans offering up jars of light. Humanoid statues. See, I'd almost assume that this is in some kind of Tron-like virtual world. And apparently they're giants and remnants of humans, and then there's like these monster corpses, and then there's our character. This feels interesting to say the least. Now he's in a pool of blood, coughing up blood. This does kind of feel like a 1975 era anime where you just have a protagonist and a whole bunch of monsters. Well, it's weird to show the monsters, have them show up as a threat, and then show them just disintegrate. Which perhaps there's more of an indication here that our hero is the real monster destroying things. And this is oddly reminiscent of that Simpsons episode where Homer took peyote and hallucinated in the desert. And now there's an Anubis-like dog taking you on a journey, which makes it seem like this might be the afterlife. Since there's no dialogue here and no subtitles, you just have to take whatever story you want to take from it. Yeah, honestly, a lot of this just feels like a nightmare scenario, jumping from shot to shot. Maybe like a computer virus, if this isn't a digital world. Feels like half of those shots should have been split up or not shown in the first playthrough. Alright, so we've got a little floating guy, a fire. We can see a storm. We've got a dash. We have a sword that seems to be particularly small. And then we've got a guy coughing blood. Interesting, and he kind of has to stop doing that, otherwise this is going to be a weird game. And yeah, I suppose a Zelda type feel is somewhat linked to the past, somewhat it has that feel, but basically all that means is it's somewhat like a top-down pixely adventure game, and that's not unique to Zelda. Hold Y to take this object. Seems like I have 3 out of 5 health. And we're seeing all these skeletons. Press left bump to heal. Interesting. And yeah. So it's weird that he'd be coughing up blood if he's a robot. So he might be like the last human on the planet, or humanoid, biological. Seems like you have to hold down Y to activate a lot of things. And see, immediately what I feel like you would do is you'd want to be able to hit the back button and interesting. See, now you can change your dash type, but you couldn't do that in the main game. So definitely feels like there's computers and technology in this world. And see, this is where it could be a hassle, certainly, is can I do something like that and die? Yes, I can. I take one hit, which I think is probably a fair lesson to take from there. We can smash boxes. We can smash bones, but we can't smash things. And I assume... Oh, you can also run off the edge. Interesting. Interesting. And see, I was thinking that there might be some secrets. See, it seems like my little guy wants me to heal. I'm not sure I want this layout of buttons though. Like, I feel like press Y to ping the heads up display. Yeah. I feel like the controls here are wrong. Can we change this to anything else? Nope. So I'm just gonna have to learn that A is dash when it feels like B should be dash. Like... Well, see, that's gonna be weird. I don't know if my heals... So we just got a map, I think. At least a part of a map. So yeah, almost certainly what's gonna happen is... Oh. Almost certainly I'm going to have a considerable amount of designs and attempts at not dashing first and then working my way from platform to platform. I also have to really question whether this platform style of gameplay... Oh, I cannot hit this guy. So there we just died immediately. And that reset me. This is very much just a warming up scenario. You have to kind of wait to heal, so you gotta be careful. Because that will play a factor. This feels like there's something up there. Interesting. There is something there. But I'm gonna have to have a dash ability later, obviously, to reach it. And he has to use his like dash ability to... Oh. Interesting, so that blocked you off. Still don't want to fight me? Okay. This does feel like I kind of completed a tutorial area very quickly there. And now on the surface, some things are breakable, some things are not. Seemingly nothing is climbable. This is once again a floating world like Bastion. To limit the area. That is, I think, something to highlight as far as the Zelda series is that they took great care to make it a big square world where there was explanations. Oops. So you have a sequence here, and we can sit, and I guess I didn't sit at the fireplace. So there might be a reason to sit at some locations. Big floating city in the sky. This brings about a weird thought pattern, certainly, in that for new players, first time through here, the dash is really for people who are already bored with the game and want to rush. Let's get out of here because we're getting poisoned. And it's kind of a minotaur type virus, monster, disease. I just hear blackness. Now I'm waking up in a different location, but you would think that there would be a dream sequence at that point. And somebody is sitting next to you that kind of looks like a minotaur helmet. And now I'm in some kind of house with a character. And we can't sit on the bed or interact with the bed. Alright. I don't know what that's really doing. Back view map. So let's see, can we zoom out? You've got 4 regions compared to probably 9 regions in your standard Zelda game, or 8 regions. I feel like the original Zelda game, and see, that's funny, is they compared this to Link to the Past, but really the original Legend of Zelda game is very similar to Link to the Past, so you might as well just say it's a original Zelda style game. But then I guess that's gets confused very quickly, considering how there's been more 3D Zelda games than there have been top down 2D Zelda games. I'd have to run the numbers there, but I'm fairly certain. Yeah, this seems like to get to the top area is a single shot unless we're going to unlock a lot more, whereas there seems to be more variety to the left and right, and seems almost like nothing in the lower area. Oh, that's the light switch. Interesting. So I turned off the lights. Seems like we may have some kind of upgrade system here. Yes or no? It's asking me. I have no idea what this means, but let's just go with yes. Like I don't know what it's asking me, and I don't know if I'm actually activating anything. For all I can tell, this may be a like quick teleport, but I just don't have anything activated. That's as best as I can guess. We've definitely seen games that have done this where, so you've just scanned a teleportation pad. So I think we can now teleport there or appear anytime using the map. So then I guess the question would be, is this a teleportation? It doesn't feel like it, because it feels like I could just do this and just teleport that way for a very long animation to walk one door, but I imagine that makes a lot more sense other times. Interesting. I seem like I can't use my sword in this area, so this is like a village safe area. Can use my dashing. We see like a dog and a crow in the middle of this crossroads. Let's see if we can just chase the dog since we chased the Anubis. Well, the dog didn't seem to follow. Yeah, I have no idea what anybody's saying. There is something weird about the vast number of cryptic games are out there where they just don't bother to really write any dialogue or story. So I'm not particularly impressed with the idea of everything being a mystery, because I've yet to see a game developer actually be a good enough writer for the mystery to actually be interesting. Arguably, I would say the same is kind of true for a lot of writers and TV people in movies, is that so many things think they're smart and they just aren't. Right, so this seems to me like I could upgrade my health recovery to 4, but it's asking me for apparently 4 or 5 currencies of some sort that I don't have. So we're gonna have to find more currencies. Come on, dog. The dog always does run that direction. So I'm assuming what happens here, and see, this is some kind of rolling bomb, special attack with right bump, and I need 2 currencies for that, which this doesn't. Interesting. He's telling us a story pictorially. Apparently he was attacked At least that's what he's saying as the sob story. To maybe get sympathy. We've got gates here that clearly need a certain number of collectibles to be able to pass. Seems like the guards aren't keeping you specifically away from anything. You can go wherever you please. Seems like a lot of this area doesn't matter. This is, that guy does have a robot in his office. So, even though a lot of these buildings are destroyed, there is obviously a level of society still around. That guy just makes a sound. I thought he might tell me a story or sing a song. Clearly we're gonna need something to it's funny is they look kind of like they're animals and they're all very different characters, which once again makes it certainly feel like this might be some kind of virtual world with different avatars. Apparently I do have a way of upgrading this. Or do I not? Interesting. Apparently I don't. I might need to upgrade my own capacity from as much as I can figure out. First. Like, that might be the thing. So like clearly there is some race here that eventually will unlock where you're supposed to like light up. You'd almost have to freeze time though to be able to light up all of that. And interesting that you can in that area attack and swing your sword. Well, for safety's sake and just for time saving sake, we should see if we can just go this direction. Either we're going to run into something that stops us fairly quickly, or we're going to run into something that wrecks us very quickly. Let's see. So clearly there are little bits of collectibles and hidden things around the world, and so there might be a fairly smart direction to go with this stuff and try and find some collectibles, get some upgrades early in 4 different directions, and then work your way. Yeah, you've got humanoid organic skeletons, you've got robotic skeletons. Dashing into those blocks does not do anything. Like, how How far are we? I mean, we're not that far away. But I kind of would have expected more. More of a challenge. Let's follow this deer. See, it feels like the animals are helping you. And so by following that deer just to the edge there, do you hear some interesting music? Is there possibly a dash I could do that would go up there? It doesn't seem like there is. I'm gonna end up dying if I'm not careful. Yeah, the top-down perspective here sets some weird things. How do I get more bullets? Does it just take a while? I may very well have to refill bullets through finding them. Some kind of dark shaman. So we just got told about a boss. This doesn't feel very dungeony when you like look at it though. Yeah, I am totally out of bullets. Like, it really just feels like you pretty much have a straight shot towards. Okay. So there is just straight up areas then we cannot go to. And so now we refilled our bullets. Now we've got more characters walking around. Interesting. Just more people in general. More animal characters. Interesting. Seems kind of silly, like we've somehow magically upgraded the world and potentially accomplished things way earlier than we should have. This might be a little difficult to pull off. There we go. And if all the focus is just dashing from edge to edge, then there really isn't that much focus on game here. Big pools of things. Oh, that was a bomb. So we found exploding barrels. Where are we? Interesting. There's kind of like a circuitry pattern layer. And so we are I assume trying to re-energize that circuitry pattern layer. And this is a big swampland that I think I probably missed a decent amount of stuff. But whatever. Interesting. So it seems like there probably were some other ways to get to this gate. And I just took a different path. Also feels like there should be a teleportation. We had like these tiled mosaics on the ground. Let's hit that plant and see if that was anything. Plants apparently give you bullets. So a toad-like boss in that area. I feel like I'm gonna end up just finding all these bosses and then not being able to actually attack any of them. Right, well, I think we've probably hit an area that is fairly unsafe, because that's like hard-hitting characters all of a sudden. So I guess we'll go as far as I think is safe, and then I'll probably have to call it and teleport back to where we were. I guess you have to work your way around. How did I get inside a building? So I imagine those switches are what we call that tram back. We are just underground now. Did I take some damage there, or what? Am I supposed to go forward even though the cough cough happens? Yeah, breaking these lanterns doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, this just feels like it's a really, really small game. Which I guess would explain the New Game Plus idea. We're almost to the point where we have a full upgrade slot, it feels like. These robots, they remind me of that anime Big O. Well, at least now we can teleport that far, which definitely makes me wonder if I should have gone a little bit further and found a teleporter for the rest of the area. So either I am going up into a dungeon, or I'm going this way into something else. Yeah, that's what the robots look like quite a bit. Don't stand on the green slime, I bet, is the trick here. Nope, nothing over there. Actually, you can stand on the grass, it's fine. That's not what's making him cough, it's just he seems to constantly be coughing. Which is not interesting, per se, not fun, not something you want to hear your hero dying and coughing of some horrible disease. But then you kind of have that problem where you potentially have a character that is sick, and then you go for a huge Odyssey style adventure with that character, and you kind of forget completely that they ever were sick in the first place. Notice how that switch on that door took considerably longer. What is this? I have no idea what that is. Alright, what? So no real trick there, just have to fight them. Interesting. Let's go see what's up here. Nope. Nothing there. Nothing there. So, what do you get when you die? I mean, you just get reset. Seems like there's nothing else to it than that. So I thought this game was a lot more difficult than it really seems like it is. Like, you can see the numbers are getting fairly high. But yeah, we've got a full upgrade, which apparently we need multiples of those. With a little bit of practice, with a little bit of smoothing out of your skill set, I think you can actually do fairly nicely with dashing and one-hit shot type hits. So we have just activated one of apparently 16 nodes. Interesting. I don't think we're gonna have very bespoke places to call it a day, so we'll probably just want to stop fairly quickly for this episode. Need to determine whether you want to dodge or fight. And we may very well hit an area where, or hit a scenario where you just aren't likely to really succeed. You might just get to a point where the enemies scale up in difficulty or numbers very high. Can I use a special attack? No. I don't think I have the special attack yet. I kind of think like these. There's like 3 or 4 waves there. I kind of feel like the gunshots might be well suited towards the bigger creatures, and you should use gunshots on big creatures, and okay, that kills that guy. Yeah, I don't think I can do this. So take this as a reward for failure, as it were. Come back to this point, toggle back to this point, and teleport back to that. So, do we understand everything? I don't think so. I feel like this is still confusing. But over here, we do have this now. Which, yeah, there are clearly 4 nodes. And if we were to come up to this, did we have enough to upgrade anything? Something should be upgradable with just one, but I'm not 100% sure that's the case. Like double dashing definitely feels like something that you should be able to have, and yet kind of doesn't feel like we've hit that point. Or just an increase in health, which this might be what this is. That needs 2 upgrades. Hmm. There are definitely some weird sound effects playing. Hmm. Interesting. Apparently, I can throw this special weapon. So I do have this special already. But it seems like it is a proximity mine. And thus doesn't actually activate when no enemy is around. Clearly there's going to be an elevator to a final boss in the center to a fifth area. But at first glance it still feels like there's less than 4 or 5 hours of gameplay in this, depending on the level of difficulty. Yeah, and I'm really just at a loss. Yeah, I'm at a loss as far as what else could possibly be upgraded, or if something can possibly be upgraded. So, as it seems, looking at this menu, we're going to potentially have 3 different weapons that we're going to have to collect, and then 3 different something others, and then some kind of upgrade that is in parallel to health upgrades. There's a point in which our gun can have 3 more bullets. I almost also have to think that at some point it's going to have a better regenerative bullet system. There's clearly a second weapon also. It feels like there might be room for a different upgrade system also. Clearly we're going to have to dip our toe in part at looking at this area and dip our toe in going further in this area, because obviously I should have tried that. And then also dip our toe in going down this way, because obviously. And then eventually I think this area might open up to be something, maybe. And we may even find out that there are extra areas in different corners. Or we may end up just having to go all over the place. This is an interesting compass. In the map, there's clearly some kind of tunnel system or circuitry system, or both, that is also being hidden here. I don't know if that means that at some point there might be a 3rd layer, and I'm not sure what's at the top left or what's at the top right. Also, it seems like there's just kind of no saving. It seems like it just auto saves, and there's nothing other than this pause screen as far as whether or not you want to take a break. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.